Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow.
Is it really just moments now? So will it be 6 more weeks of winter, or will it be an early spring? Janice Team joins us live from Gobbler's Knob in Pennsylvania. Hey, Janice.
Oh my goodness, we are just minutes away from Phil coming out of his burrow. Right now we've got the inner circle that have come on stage. They're talking about the dignitaries. They're introducing the governor of Pennsylvania. They're talking about the rules and regulations. And Phil's going to come out. And if he sees his shadow, then he's going to run right back into his burrow, and it's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. That's the deal. And now the crowd is chanting. They want Phil to come out on the stump and show his furry face, because we've been waiting for a year now to see him. This is 138 years of Groundhog Day in Gobbler's Knob, Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. They're talking about the president of the inner circle coming up, and this is, I mean, we are really just moments away from history. And they're explaining that Phil is always right, 100% right. It's lost in the translation because Phil speaks groundhogese. So Phil tells his prediction to one of his inner circle, and the inner circle relays the message of whether or not we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter. He's 100% right, but sometimes it gets lost in the translation. So we're going to listen right now. They're going to knock on the burrow 3 times, and Phil is going to come out. Let's listen in.
From his burrow and hold him high for all to see. He will then place Phil upon the stump, where Phil and I will have a little talk about whether he sees his shadow or not. If it's his shadow he sees, 6 more weeks of winter there will be. If there's no shadow, early spring. Daybreaker, please place the royal red carpet. Mr. Vice President, please place the scrolls upon the stump. Gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? It's a tradition. Before we get Phil out, we get him fired up by chanting, Phil, 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 Phil. It's Punxsutawney Phil! Gentlemen, gather around. Okay, we have a decision.
A prediction has been made, Mr. President. Hear ye! Now on this February 2nd, Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, prognosticator of all prognosticators, was awakened from his wintry nap at dawn of Gobbler's Knob. Phil looked to the skies and then, speaking in groundhogese, directed the president to the proper scroll. which reads, "Another winter slumbered pause so I could meet the crowd. Hard to sleep anyway when the party's this loud. I envy your energy, I envy the fun. I envy all of you and your opposable thumbs. But it's not what I feel, it's what I see and what you hear, so gather round and let me be clear. Atmosphere is a wonderful thing, and we can create our own and the weather it brings. It brings hope for the future and so much more. Maybe some Punxsutawney Phil write-in votes in 2024. But what this weather did not provide is a shadow or reason to hide. Glad tidings on this Groundhog Day. An early spring is on the way.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. This is historic. Phil doesn't predict an early spring very often. 82% of the time, Phil predicts 6 more weeks of winter. So this is pretty historic. Obviously, Phil is a little political this year, telling people to write him in on the ballot. But we're not going to get into that. It's about the weather. And is he still speaking? Is Phil speaking? Or is he ready to go back in his burrow? I will tell you this. The funniest part of being here at Gobbler's Knob, after the prediction is read,
If you
people
like a photograph
scram.
on
So,
stage, with
in like
Punxsutawney
5
Phil in the
minutes,
inner circle,
people, this place is going to be completely empty. So, you know what? I'm happy to be part of this. This is just a handful of times that Phil has predicted an early spring. I think there were a lot of boos, though, because I myself would like 6 more weeks of winter, because we have not seen winter, especially in the Northeast, for several years. And my kids need their childhood of going outside, and I need to do some snow angels. So I'm a little disappointed with Phil's prediction.
Janice, it's so rare, though.
You know, that's just me.
Janice, I'm looking at the stats. He's only predicted early spring 20 times, winter 108 times. So this is very rare. And he usually comes in at about 39%. So he does struggle with accuracy, but we won't talk about that. This is not scientific.
No, he's always accurate. It's lost in the translation. Happy Groundhog Day, everybody.
Right.
It's amazing.
Right. There's not a dry eye in the place.